Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is May 16th, 2025, and this is my weekly trade review. We're reviewing an SPX and Condor trade that's with 0-day options, 10 wide, 20 delta. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendation, because as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. This is not a trade recommendation. This is me seeing if this thing actually works in the live market. This is a virtual trade for me. And all. The thing is, a lot of times I've seen where I got a friend that this is one of the things that he does, meaning that he creates tools, backtest things, and look at charts and all, and try to find patterns in the market to beat that and try to trade them. A lot of times we find out, is that actually tradable? So that's one of the things he does work on, and all, and I like that he does. And all, we look at the charts and all, and we kind of like see if we see the singles and all, and then see if we could have actually traded that single. A lot of times we see, the first time that it actually came that it may not was the best time to get into the trade, but we can see that on the chart trading backwards. And that's the whole thing about, testing different strategies and seeing how they work, theoretically or back testing. The question always is, can you actually trade that thing in the live market? And with this, that's what I'm doing now. I'm doing it kind of in a crazy way, some people may think, but that's the way I like doing. I like doing it this crazy way. That way, nobody else should try to do it the same way that I'm actually trying to do it, and it helps me because again, I am doing additional things also on the side to actually help me see what's going on here. But that's it. This is just how I help train myself to see this trade and see how it's going to work. And I would learn, when this thing is going bad, what I need to do. I am going to try to get out those videos on showing you how I go about entering this trade this weekend. At least I'm going to do a couple of different, because I enter this trade in a couple of different ways at times, and I'll get into that later. So let's go ahead and go ahead and do the trade review for this week of ending May 16, 2025. On Monday, I was able to place that iron Condor trade at 58.50, 58.60 on the call side, 57.60, 57.50 on the put side, 20 delta. I received a $3.20 credit, was able to close it for $2.20. Was in this trade at 9:38, a little late, and out of this trade at 10:04. The thing was, this week I was also having a lot of problems with my internet connection here at my place, and I'm thinking about I'm gonna actually get back to. I've been Wi-Fi in it. I think I'm gonna get back to hardwire, but I gotta buy me a new switch in order to do that. But I will be doing that. But as you can see, it was a good trade on Monday. Tuesday, it was a losing day. As you can see, when the market trends like this, it's usually end up being a losing day. But on Tuesday, I did place that iron Condor at 58.90, 5800 on the call side, 5810. 5800 on the put side, 20 delta. I received a $2.45 credit. I had to close this thing at $4.80. I was in this trade at 9:35, out of this trade at 9:51. That was right here on this candle here. I saw that this market was looking like it was this trade was already getting bad at that time, and I felt, based on the news from the previous day, that this market may continue going up based on what I was seeing. I didn't see all this at the time. It was just time for me to get out of that trade and do something else in order to make the money. Keep the loss small, and that was already much more than what I really wanted. It was over that $2 thing, and also I had to go ahead and close the trade. And it was a good thing that I did. It would have did nothing but got worse. As you can see, I didn't get a 10 o'clock reversal or 10:30 reversal, and all this thing just hung out here all day long and waiting to the end of the day and trying to get out of this trade and then hoping and wishing that it would come back into that's definitely what you would be doing, hoping and wishing that it will come back in. It already showed you that you didn't really expect this to happen. So that's why it's better to take that small loss and then do some other trades, and I'll have other trades that you have already done, to make back that money, or at least get you to a break even instead of staying in something and letting it get too large. I'll show you that when we look at the numbers. Let's go to Wednesday. Wednesday was a good day. I was able to place that iron Condor at 59.60, 59.70 on the call side, 58.10, 5800 on the put side, 20 delta. Received a $3.40 credit. Was able to close that trade for $2.20. And was in this trade again. Like I said, I was having platform issues, executing this order issue. Plus, I saw a video. Somebody they was talking. The guys were talking about placing this trade at 10 o'clock or 10:30, late. Their first study was saying 9:30, and I like the 9:30 time because 9:30 time is crazy. It is crazy, but I like getting those big crazy feels. That's the whole thing. That's the whole ideal about trading it at 9:30, and then by 10 o'clock, a lot of times you're out of this trade, even live trade. I was doing it, and that's where I'm out at. I'm out at around 10 o'clock. So my 9:30 time is not going to change. The only reason I did this was because I was having platform issues, and I was getting ready to walk out the door, and I'll go for a bike ride. And I said, let me try it again. And I was able to get in this trade at that time. So I went on and executed it, and I ended up at this 10:22 times. Got a $3.40 field. Hung around for a little bit to make sure it was going to close and not go really bad on me. Because the market wasn't doing too much of anything, as you can see here, at this time it wasn't doing too much of it. So again, I was in that trade, and then I was out of this trade, at this time when the market does something crazy. It did this crazy thing, and it fills you, and that happens in the live, and this is happening on this virtual account. That's why I'm kind of okay with the feels that I'm getting, because I've seen it happen, sometimes it's not as crazy as what we see as I see in the virtual account, but it happens, and as you can see, that was that on Wednesday. Thursday, let's go to Thursday. On Thursday, I ended up no trade because again, I was having the platform issues again. It didn't want to feel, and I said, no way, I'm not dealing with this. And I wanted to get out and get my bike ride in, so I went out and got my bike ride in. That did, and I think when I watched this and I did some trading. I did do some trading, but this trade was no trade, no iron condor trade on Thursday, and it would, as you can see, it would have been a bad day anyway. So maybe it was the big gods were telling me, stay away from this thing for that day, the iron condor trade, and do other things, and that's what ended up happening. Friday. This is Friday. The market just closed a few minutes ago. Let's bring this back a little bit, where we can see this. Friday. I did place this virtual iron condor trade. I was in this trade. Let me just move this around a little bit better where I can see it. I placed this iron condor trade at 59.60 on the call, 59.60, 59.70 on the call side, 58.80, 58.70 on the put side, 20 delta. I received a $2.65 credit. This was actually split into two separate little trades and then the average price was like $2.65, and I had set it to close it at $2. It actually ended up getting me out at $1.45. Yeah, I'll let you see that one in the numbers. And as you can see, it was a crazy one, again, one of those crazy fills at 9:35. And that's just what it is, it is what it is. And that was pretty much it. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the VIX, and then we'll go ahead and take a quick look at the numbers on the VIX. On the VIX, as you can see, it started out pretty high this week and was kind of crazy. Maybe that's what was going on. And then finally, come Thursday, it was trending down, but I didn't get filled that day. Then today, it actually behaved pretty nicely today, although I split my trade up in the way I actually got into it. And let's take a quick look at the numbers, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Go here to the numbers. On the numbers, let's go down to the bottom here on Monday. This was Monday, 320, 220. At 9:38, a little late, I was having a little issues, and 10:04 out of the trade. Tuesday, again, I was having issues, but it did end up getting me in at this 245. I ended up closing, and this the day that I had was the bad trade. I ended up, first of all, again, since the untested side, I just closed the sold put only, thinking, okay, if this thing is going to drop or pull back at that 10:30 time, maybe I can make some money on that put that I had purchased. Didn't happen, so I ended up closing that kind of like right away. As you can see, I closed it around, and like I said, I waited. Ended up closing it around 10:23, as you can see there. I didn't wait too long. So, 10 o'clock, I think it was at the 10 o'clock reversal. I was expecting that it didn't happen. Then I went and started doing what I do, my directional trades. I ended up paying a little bit high, on that first, again, jumping in there, and bought a call. Because again, it was trending up. I was trying to catch that little pullback, ended up getting that a little high. Then I ended up buying some more, and then I ended up getting out of it at this price here. So that was it. I ended up making back, pretty much the money that I had lost on the other trade and stuff. So I was okay. And then come the next day. That was Tuesday. So then Wednesday, Wednesday. This is the day I actually ended up splitting it up. Yeah, I ended up doing 10 contracts, and since I didn't want to fill with the normal size that I was doing, just to see if the platform was going to be okay. It ended up filling me, as you can see. This was I was having problems all morning long. Then I said, okay, it doesn't want to fill me at what I'm normally trading. Let me just drop it down to 10 contracts. So I dropped it down to 10 contracts, got filled. And I said, okay, I'm gonna put my additional 90 out there like I do, And I throw that. As you can see, it was a few minutes later because it was still trading around the same number, as you can see, 340, 320. And I went in and it filled me for the 90. So I said, okay. Then I set up my close. I usually set up my close right away, and in 20 minutes, 25 minutes or so, I was out of that trade for $2.20. So again, it ended up being an okay day that day, and then. Thursday I didn't trade. That was Thursday I didn't. I ended up not trading at all the iron condor because it wasn't filling me, and I ended up trying this little vertical here. I was wondering if the platform was having problems or issues because it was happening every morning. So I ended up, as you can see, it was late. So I did a little spy vertical, just throwing something out there. Really, that's all it was, and all. And then when the market started trending against it, I said, oh, let me close that. And then I said, oh, let me see if I can make some money for the day. And I ended up making 40 cents. I think this thing might have did a double that day. I'm not sure. I just want to keep it like what I normally would do. Anywhere from 20 cents to 50 cents to $1. But I took the 40 cents because I was ready to go anyway. Go meaning go out for my bike ride. Yes, I'm a cyclist. Then come like to was that today? That was today. Today, I was still wondering if I was going to have platform issues or not. So I dropped it since the 10 field. I said I'm going to try to do at least half, so I did it at 50 contracts. 50 contracts filled like right away at like 9:31, like I normally would do. Okay, I'm gonna try. Then I said I'm gonna try the additional 50 at the same. Then I do a duplicate order. Boom, send it out there, based on whatever credit it's trying to give me. And I ended up getting a 250 credit. I said, oh, good. Average price between those two is that $2.65 that you saw on the screen. And then then it gave me a crazy feel to close this trade. A few minutes later. But as we saw, I have another video that I saw that the market did actually come down below this number, and it did come down to the $2 where I would have actually really got out of the trade at, and that's what I record, kind of like on my spreadsheet, to kind of like where I can look and see what looks more realistic when I'm looking at things, and not so focused on what the account is doing, because I kind of expect the account I would expect myself to reach that million and all, but not maybe as fast as I thought I was, because I am kind of. Right now, I'm not forcing, just like these, when I was having these problems, I'm not going to force the trade, and I'm not going to do anything too crazy and all. But I want to do it more. I'm trying to do it more like what I would normally do if I was trading it live, except the size is kind of like off the wall. That's so crazy. But I don't want to. I want to be where I'm really pretty comfortable with just placing the trade to get into it, placing the trade to get out of it, and if things go bad, getting out of my bad trade and doing what I need to do when the trade actually does go bad on me. And this week, and looking at it that way, this week was still a pretty good week for me. It was a good week for me, and that's pretty much it. That's all I really want to share. I will try to get to that those other videos that I want to put out there about entering this trade and all, what I'm looking at and what we're doing. All it is a 0.2 delta and all, but just going through the whole mechanics. Sometimes just somebody just seeing it. I know when I first started trading, seeing a lot. I actually got to see a trader actually trading, and I saw he was doing things. And I said, oh, okay, that's what I do. Okay, it's okay. Oh, that's how you do that. That's what you're doing. That's what you're looking at. Oh, okay. And he was and once I saw him again, it was one of the schools that are out there. I actually ended up seeing him actually trade, and then I ended up going. I told him I'll go make the money and I'll be back. And that's pretty much what I did. So good guy. He's a good guy. I still know that guy today. So that's it. This is Right Side Trader. Hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next week. Have a good one. Bye.